Hello, this will be another video on the Kenneka Jenkins case. I'm not sure if you can call it a debunking video. It's more just explaining to you what I see. My opinion is that the person in the red hat that you see, the red baseball cap, that seems to be, quote, following Kenneka, has absolutely nothing to do with her death. Okay, she might have known the person from the party. He might, she might even know him in real, in the real world outside of the party. Just in general. But I don't think he has anything to do with it, and I'll show you why. There's also a couple other things I want to discuss as well. First, let's discuss the aspect ratio of the images and video footage that we see. When people have captured the surveillance footage, they've stretched it out, which is disrupting the actual, the correct aspect ratio, and the aspect ratio is height to width. The surveillance footage is 640 by 480, but these people are stretching it out to match a HD screen, okay, which is 1280 by 720 or 1920 by 1080, and there's an aspect ratio which is height to width ratio, okay. And so what I did was I took 640 by 480, and here's the footage of when Kenneka comes out of the elevator, and I overlaid the size it's supposed to be with a see-through black mat, okay. So as you can see, that's the width it's supposed to be, all right. So I'm going to shrink it down, all right. So this is the look the videos are supposed to have, okay, and some do and some don't because people stretch them. All right, so let's get that right. I'm going to fix the aspect ratio, and as you can see, right when she comes out, she's shorter and squattier, and then now she looks normal, okay. Of course, the camera's on the ceiling aiming down, so it distorts the image a little bit also, okay. So now let's go on to actually analyzing the sequence of surveillance cameras, including the guy with the red cap, all right. Okay, so let's analyze the actual footage. All right, I was told, and I've learned from a guy named Fractal Truth on YouTube, that this footage is actually, it records the entire day, but the motion capture system only marks that footage where motion happened. So even though it has the full day footage, it also marks the motion capture, and at the end of the day, if there's something that happens, you can go back and just look at where motion happened quickly. All right, so it stores that information separately. Okay, so that's why there's some footage you see out there without the red squares and some with it. He doesn't believe the time in the upper right hand corner is the actual time, but I think it is because it matches up with other cameras and shots. He thinks it's maybe running time. He wasn't sure about that, though. So let's talk about this. All right, so Kenneka gets off the elevator at 3:25. And so she goes around that corner at 3:25 and 15, and then shows up in this camera at 3:26:13, so it took her 58 seconds. Motion capture, this is one of the motion capture clips. Okay, so it only will show you what it determined to be the motion capture, and there's range involved and time and motion. So when she gets to the end, you'll see that she disappears off the screen, but she didn't really disappear. It just quit recording, and then it moved on to the next clip. Okay, so look at 3:26:48 is when the motion capture quit recording. Then 4:32:36 is when it picked up another motion, which we'll show here in a second. All right. So here's the guy in the red hat. He comes off the elevator at 4:19 and 45 seconds, or around there, 42 seconds. All right, and when he goes around the corner, it's 4:19 and 46 seconds, but it looks like he either forgot something or perhaps he was looking for Kenneka, looked both ways, down the hall or whatever, didn't see her, then came back because he's back at the elevator at 4:20 and 15 seconds. So he got off the elevator at 4:19 and 43 seconds. So a mere, 37 seconds later, he's already back to the elevator. All right, then he leaves, and okay, so he leaves at 4:20 and 17 seconds. Then he's back up about 12 minutes later. He got whatever he forgot, or he went to do a deeper search, because then he comes back up and he goes down that same route that Kenneka went. And then again, this is motion sensor footage. So when he gets down the hall at 4:33 and 2 seconds, he disappears, and then it immediately cuts to the next clip that was designated motion sensor. Right, and in this one, he's heading back at the camera. So he came back 45 seconds later. I don't know what he was doing down here, or if he was just looking around or whatever. But he was only gone for 45 seconds after motion capture turned off. The real full footage would show him continue walking down. All right. So I'm going to speed this up. So he comes all the way back, goes back around, and he's heading back towards the elevator, and there he is. So look at 4:34 and 4 seconds. Took him 35 seconds. Now if you go back to Kenneka, she went around that corner, and it took her a full minute, like 58 seconds, because she's drunk, or intoxicated is a better word, and bouncing off of walls and stumbling and really slow. So he goes around this corner at 4:34 and 3 seconds. And he's back here at 4:34 and 42 seconds. So 37, 39 seconds later, he's back over here and pushes for an elevator. The one behind him that he came up originally opens, and he goes in that, and he's gone. Okay? So it all makes sense to me. Other than I don't know why he walked down the hall. I don't know what he was doing. Was he looking for Kenneka? But he definitely wasn't gone long enough to do anything. Okay? He wouldn't even have known where Kenneka was. She was by herself in the kitchen, and locked herself in a freezer on accident, and nobody knew where she was. This guy, he walked down the hall and he came right back. And you can also see that a little bit later, just 25 minutes later, one of her other friends, the one with the ponytail on top of her head, is actually looking around. It seems like she's checking doors, see if Kenneka went into any of these, and she's looking around. So it's not a far stretch to say the guy with the red hat, was also looking for her. Okay, because again, he came back within 45 seconds, and if you'd see the full video, it would even be less time, because you would continue to see him walking all the way down the hallway. All right, so that's all I got for you here, and hope that explains a few different issues. And thanks for watching. All right, bye.